Welcome to the Best of Both Worlds with Flau'jae and my co-host, Mom, Kia J. Brooks. We have a big episode for you today. Right now, we have a very special guest. She's one of the best American tennis players ever, once ranked number 3 in the world. Here we have the legendary Sloane Stephens. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
I get a lot of kids always ask me, like, how did you get such a good work ethic? And you know what I'm saying? Like, so I want to ask you, like, what motivated you? Because for me, I told myself, like, I want to be the best. And that's what motivated me. And I started to figure out what my why was. And I had other factors that kind of contributed to that. So what made you develop such a strong work ethic for you to get to where you are right now?
Yeah, I think it's something that a lot of people just have in them. I loved playing tennis. I really enjoyed getting out there and competing every day, and just like I loved going to summer camp. I loved, learning how to hit a forehand. I loved the basics of the game, which I think led me to love the actual competition and being a professional athlete. And I think some kids and people are just born with that inside of them, that, that drive, that determination, that competitiveness, or whatever it is. But it is something that you have to train. Like, you're not just going to be really competitive and it just carries you through. Like, you definitely have to get out there and want to compete and want to fight and want to, go against the best and play against the best. And you have to have that self-belief. So I think, just kind of like tapping into that more, not necessarily, you don't have to be the greatest athlete, but if you can be the greatest competitor, that might take you further.
I know, like, sometimes, like, athletes, we go into a rut, and most of the time it's like more mental than it is physical. How do you navigate being in those little ruts, having those mental lapses? Like, how do you navigate getting over that and getting to the finish line?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Obviously, in tennis, you play January through November, so we're gone a lot. We're away from home, and I think before it was a lot about just like physical health and taking care of your physical health, but I think now, especially as I've gotten older, it's been more about the mental side and like taking care of yourself before anything. I think that some people are like this, some people are up and down, like that's just like the course of life, and I think that handling the lows just as well as you handle the highs are kind of what determines like what your middle ground is. Through all of my ups and downs, I've had a crazy career, but through all of that, like I've always been like, okay, there's something on the other side. Like however I get through this, there's going to be something on the other end waiting for me, whether that's just an ice cream sandwich or another degree or whatever it is. Like, I'm like, there's always something on the other side. And I think fighting through the hard times and tough times and adversity and all of that stuff is really what, like I said, what makes your character more or less. And then just how you go on in life. You're only a professional athlete for so long, but this process of, being a professional athlete only lasts this bit of your life. And then you have like this bit of your life to live. I think it's important to grow and to learn and enjoy it while you're going through this, because then maybe one day when you're a mom or you're a grandma or whatever it is, like that's a whole nother process of life that you have to enjoy and learn, and there'll be hiccups and mistakes, and how you handle them is probably how you get through them. And yeah, I think that part of life is just, it's the fun part. Mistakes are still fun sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes. In the moment, maybe not as much, but at the end, you get to realize this is why it happened, for sure. All right, Dream Duos, the tennis version. Who are 2 athletes that you love to see go head-to-head, living or dead, but you can't name yourself?
Oh, I would say Arthur Ashe and Roger Federer.
I'm not a big tennis person, but I've heard of Arthur Ashe. That's fire. Yeah. I like that.
I think that would be like a good one.
Who would your dream doubles partner be?
Oh, dream doubles partner, probably, I don't know if you know, like Steffi Graf. I don't know if you know Steffi Graf, but like Steffi Graf, or maybe like Monica Seles or Steffi Graf.
Okay, is it any particular reason, or are those just like your favorite players, or what?
They're just like old school players that I really liked.
Okay.
They were kind of like before my time. I never got to play with them or anything, but like before me, there was like that group of players that were really amazing. And then I'd say obviously Venus and Serena, but I've played against them, so that's fine. But I would say, yeah, them or Monica and Steffi.
I started following tennis because of my friend Coco. And she's legit. I mean, she's legit. So that's who I'm gonna pick for my partner. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna need her to do all the heavy lifting. But most definitely,
yes,
I just watched the Richard movie for the first time, and I feel like I know about tennis now. Like, I feel like I'm all the way in, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, it always like draws you in, and when you're seeing it for like the first time, you're like, wow, that's so cool. Like, it's so cool. So I think that the tennis movies bring a lot to the game because they get more people interested, which is really nice. And then the King Richard movie was such an incredible movie that I think a lot of people can like relate, and I think that's like a really cool thing.
Does anyone in your family play any sports?
So my mom was a swimmer. She swam at D1 college at Boston University. Okay. And she still has like records there. I would say my dad was a professional football player.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year in 1988. Then, yeah, so like yes and no, because those two sports that are totally irrelevant to tennis. And then nobody else in my family played a professional sport. Everyone else is like lawyers, doctors, police, like.
But your dad was professional. So, you say your dad was professional, right? Okay.
Yeah, he was a professional football player.
You get some of your athletic ability from your mom and dad. You just became a tennis player.
Okay. She's being modest. She's being modest.
No, it was a good combination. The combination was good. Yeah, no, it was a good combination. They made me super thankful. God bless them. And yeah, I mean, like I said, my mom went to the French Open like way before I was born and was like, my daughter's going to be a tennis player. So that's literally how I became a tennis player. Because she was like, you should go to tennis camp and like, you're going to love it. And she like secretly wanted me to be a tennis player. So I think that's like how I got here.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha. All right. Who are your top 3 favorite artists to listen to before a match? Like, what gets you in that mode?
Before a match, I would say it honestly depends on the day, but I would say like Whitney Houston, because I love to sing. Like, so I love to like have my AirPods in and like just be singing and kind of like vibing. So Whitney Houston is one. I love Earth, Wind and Fire. And I'm like going really old school. Earth, Wind and Fire. And then probably like, I don't know. I can't say Kendrick or Drake because that's like a beef right now. So neither one of them. But then I would say, ooh, what's a good third one? Like a classic, like Jay-Z. That's an easy, like just simple.
For sure. Yeah. I like listening to like slow music. Like I like Adele. I like stuff that calms me. Yes. So we on the same page with that.
Well, you need to listen to Flau'jae too. She's really dope.
Oh yeah.
I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, where do we listen to you? Where are you on? Spotify, Apple Music? Come on, plug yourself. Let's go.
I'm plugging. Everywhere you listen to music, you go check that out. I got everything for everybody. I got some R&B. I got some hip-hop. I got some slow. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of dibble and dabble.
I'll download it. I got you. My one single fan. I'm right here. I got you. Come on.
I appreciate
Post you up on my story. Listen to my girl Flau'jae. Come on.
Period. This is what I've been excited to talk to you about. You had a private concert from Lionel Richie. Like, what?
Yes. It was, we were at his house and he was like literally playing on his piano in front of, it was like me, my mom, my aunt, and just like singing. We were like gazing into his eyes because obviously anyone who knows Lionel Richie and loves Lionel Richie, like that's like a dream. That honestly was one of the best moments of my life. But he sang to us over the piano. It was I don't even know what to say. I still think about it to this day. It's incredible.
Oh my! Like who else would you want to have a private concert with other than Lionel? Like your favorite artist. I heard you say Earth, Wind and Fire, but who else?
I love Earth, Wind and Fire, but I would say Adele. I've seen Adele a couple of times. I love her voice. I know all of her songs. I didn't get to go to the Vegas residency, but I saw her in London 2 years ago. I went to Hyde Park when she was first coming back. It was like one of her first concerts back. I love her. I've been a fan since day one, so I definitely would say she would be the one that I would definitely have a private concert with. If I had to pay anyone to come sing to me, it would definitely be her.
Absolutely. She's number one on that list. So was the Adele concert like your favorite concert of all time?
I would say it's probably up there. Like, definitely. Okay. That was, definitely up there. But it was also outside. It was cold. There were a lot of elements that were happening. Yeah. And then, like, I was like, but she was amazing. She was incredible. But it was like raining a little bit and like it was cold and I had to buy a sweatsuit there, which I still have and wear to this day. But like it just was like, you know, it wasn't comfortable in your seat with popcorn and like candy. It was like, it was, you know, we had to fight to be there. But that's
right. Cool. No, most def. Okay. What is something that people get wrong about you?
Everyone says I always have like, I don't know if you can cuss on this show, but like RBC, resting B face.
RBF.
I didn't say it. I didn't say the bad. Yeah, RBF. There you go. I didn't say it because I don't know. This might be a G-rated show. I don't know. So I was like, let me. But yeah, I think that. But and like there's like that I mean, but I'm not. I think I just have like this space, and if I'm not like engaged with someone, I have a bad habit of just like.
No, yes, absolutely. I feel
you know what I mean.
Too.
So yeah, I think that's like one thing that, and because if you come up to me, I'll be like, oh hey, yeah, like what were you saying, or what did you talk about? But if not, I'm like, okay, well, just
I'm just chilling. So. See, that's me too. Like I be looking like this, and then they'll see me smile, and they be like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, I'll be chilling.
Yeah, they're like, we didn't know if we could talk to you or not. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. So I think that's one thing that everyone's like, you look so mean. I'm like, no, I don't. But I think maybe yes, I do. So it's one thing that I'm working on for sure.
How do you separate? You know what I'm saying, you being a tennis player with you just being a regular person? Because I know those are kind of two different worlds, but they also collide. So tell me how you balance that.
Yeah, so I do a lot outside of tennis, which is kind of strange. I think for the sport of tennis is very individual, but everyone in tennis is like very, very, very strictly focused on only tennis. And I've loved to do so many other things outside of tennis, like my podcast. I have my foundation. We serve about 6,000 or 7,000 kids every year in Compton Unified. And then I just do a bunch of things. I have a show coming out on Prime about tennis players called Top Class Tennis that I executive produce with Uninterrupted and LeBron James. So that's really cool. And I've just done a lot of things outside of tennis. I've had a lot of different passions, and tennis has just mainly been my vehicle to like get me to all these places and meet all these amazing people and do all these incredible things. So yeah, like my life in tennis is great because I love traveling. I love competing. I've been doing it for 15 years now. My pro career has been amazing, and I'm still enjoying it. I'm still playing well. I'm still really happy with where I'm at. But the other side of it is giving me just interest in other things that I've been able to do, which I probably would have never done otherwise. So yeah, kind of being able to do both and have a good balance between has been really nice for me and rewarding, I would say.
Most definitely, but we can't just speed past the TV show with LeBron James, the greatest player of all time. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I've done a lot of work with Uninterrupted. My podcast is with Uninterrupted, and I recently just filmed an episode of The Shop, and we've been working on this show since pretty much COVID, and it's just like a spin-off basically of what they did with Bronny in his 4 years of high school. So this is pretty similar, but it's called Top Class Tennis, and it's just a tennis version of that, just kind of with like our own little spin on it. And yeah, we work really closely with the kids just to kind of like understand what that junior tennis was like. My junior tennis days were very, very similar to what we actually filmed and got of the kids, which is really cool. But it's always different. Like I know, like working with LeBron, like he already did it with Bronny, so it was something that he was already very familiar with. And I think, but like being specific to tennis, that's where I came in, was really able to like help everyone on the show understand like what these kids are going through, which is really nice. And Uninterrupted's been a great partner just in general with everything that I've done. So yeah, just a lot of good things cooking and happening, but those are two of the most, upcoming things happening.
Yeah, most def. I was gonna ask you, what would you be doing if you weren't playing tennis, but I feel like you're doing everything while playing tennis, which is something that I truly enjoy because, I do music and I play basketball, so yes. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm definitely so proud of everything that you're doing. Like, it takes a lot to do all the TV show, podcast, foundation, and probably much more coming, so I want to salute you on that. You're really, like, killing in both of those worlds. You. Is media always something, like, you wanted to be into, or is that, like, a new love, or...
It was something that I've always done. I've always done like a lot. Like when I was injured, I did a lot of like commentating. I worked in TV. I worked in TV to graduate because I got my degree in communications. So that was just something that I was always kind of just interested in and wanted to see if that's maybe something I wanted to do post-career. So I did that it was great. Like, it was fun. And then I obviously got into the podcast and stuff, but I do salute you also for doing your music and playing basketball. Being a college athlete is not easy at all. So I know that that's very complicated. So I think that that's great that you're able to do both and be really amazing at both, which is incredible. But yeah, it's not easy. But I would say it's all so rewarding, right? When you're doing all the things that you want to do, things that you're passionate about, things that you can actually say, this is what I want to do, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing it really well. Like, I think that's always a really good sign of like self-confidence and belief, and kind of just like gives you a little bit of a boost.
So what has been, I know you have a lot of accolades, but what has been the proudest moment of your career so far?
I would definitely say winning the U.S. Open has been one of the big ones. Making the Olympics was one of the big ones. I would say my foundation work has been probably, because it's a tennis and education foundation, so just having probably, like I said, 6,000 or 7,000 kids a year touch a racket that would have never experienced tennis before in their lives is really special and important to me. And I would also say that we had our first like generation college graduate from our foundation, first generation college graduate, and then first generation college student, and then now first generation college graduate. So, and all through our foundation. So I think that has been really important for me and a part of my tennis career and why I've kept playing and kept going, because I definitely have something to play for. My reasoning is a little bit different, like finding your why. But just being able to have that impact on general tennis players in general, but to have that impact on the younger kids and the younger generation. For me, going to college is really important. I got my degree online, and then I got my master's degree online also. Education was really important in my family, so being able to see kids develop through tennis and then also pursue their higher education to me is really important. So that's given me a lot of purpose, which I really enjoy, and I think that's also through tennis. So that is another like part of my accomplishments, I feel, because I've been able to do so much off the court but still in tennis through other, through kids. So yeah, I would say that those three things have probably been my best accomplishments.
Absolutely. So you got a communications degree, all right? What made you dibble into that? Because I'm actually getting a minor in communications, so I want to know, like, why did you decide to get a communications degree?
Well, it's a long story, but basically my family owns funeral homes, and I was going to get my funeral director's license. So I was like, I'm just going to do the easiest degree so I can get my take the test to be a funeral director. And then obviously I kind of had some interest in media. So I was like, okay, like I'm going to try it and just see what I can do. So that was like the beginning reason. And then when I got it, I was like, okay, this is cool. But my family has always been really high in education. My mom went to Harvard. Everyone in my family is really into education. I was the only person in my family that didn't have a degree, so I was kind of feeling left out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to definitely do this. So I did it online. I went to high school online, so it was an easy transition for me, which was good. But yeah, I wanted to be a funeral director, and communications was my way to being a funeral director. And then recently my family sold the funeral business, so that's out. But my dream job was always to be an embalmer.
Mm-hmm. I have heard a story, and I have to hear you tell me the story of you got stuck in the freezer at the funeral home.
Yes, I did. I was younger though,
elaborate.
But yes, so I used to spend a ton of time there when I was younger because my uncles would always be there. It was a family funeral home, so we would always like go, and like if I wanted to see my uncles or whatever, I would just like go by there. And one day the freezers are pretty large, so when I went in, I don't know how it closed behind me, but I think they were taking maybe bodies in and out, and I just happened to go in. I was looking for someone, my uncle, whoever, and when I was like gonna come out, the door had closed, so I was like, oh no, how do I get out? So I was just like banging on the door until somebody came. Thank God it wasn't like too cold. But yeah, I mean, if you're like, it sounds scary, but I think everyone always forgets, like, it's not the dead bodies that we should be afraid of. It's the people that are alive and walking the earth that we should be afraid of. So I was always like very calm around dead people, like, or dead bodies. I think just because I'm very used to it. I grew up in that environment, so it wasn't as scary. But I did get locked in there. And I was like, man, who's going to come get me?
Who gonna come get me? No, for sure. Well, that is it. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us over here at the Best of Both Worlds podcast with Flau'jae and my beautiful mother. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that you want to plug, promote, let the people know about before you hop off?
No, just really thankful that you had me. I love you. I love this mom-daughter duo. I'm super close to my mom too, so I totally appreciate and love this, and I love just this whole thing going on. So I wish you great support and love, success, blessings, the whole thing. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
What's up, y'all? Now it's time for Flau'jae's Big Four, the top 4 things that's on my mind right now. First, when did I start rapping, and when did my mom know that I was good? I started rapping, well, I ain't gonna cap. I've been rapping since I've been in the womb. I've been mumbling, trying to put words together since from birth. But when did you know I was good? Like, tell the truth now.
Okay, it was a moment. You got on top of my bed, and you were rapping with a brush. And you weren't, the words weren't making sense.
Okay.
But you were going, like you was going at a pace. You was flowing. And I was saying to myself, if this little girl really knew more stuff, like if she wasn't in the 1st or 2nd grade and her education was higher, she probably could actually get this stuff and make it work and put different things together to make people want to listen.
How old was I?
7, maybe.
7 years old.
7 or 8, and you could ride a beat, okay? And it wasn't making sense, but it was like I could listen to it.
All right, Ma, you said that. Keep going with the
So,
flow.
as me being a mom, the type of mom I am, I look into my kids like, dang, could she really be a rapper? Especially knowing that your father had it in his blood.
Right.
It was like, let me see if she asked to want to do this.
Right.
And she eventually asked, well, you eventually asked to want to be a rapper or start being a rapper.
Okay, did you think that when I started rapping that I would make it to or become as good as I became? Okay, what I really want to know is like, when did you see the switch from like stuff not making sense to like, oh shoot, like, okay, we got something now? Like, when did you see that switch in my rapping abilities?
Okay, I saw the switch when you went on JD's show.
The rap game.
The rap game. I saw the switch because you didn't have anybody to help you because I didn't know anything about music. Yeah. All I knew was about managing you. Mm-hmm. So you didn't have any help and you had to go in and get it yourself. Yeah. And you were competitive. So you knew that JD was going to grade you guys every week on something. So you gave it your all. You went and looked up and, did your research on how to do different things. And I think that made you better.
Yeah. I think in the rap game house, that it definitely was like a switch for me. Like, it clicked. And I don't know if it was because I was learning from all the other kids in the house or whatever, just being around Jermaine Dupri, but when I was in that rap game house, especially after I lost the rap game, that's when I felt like, okay, I can rap. Like, I can make music. Like, I could be a star. Because I was so sad. Like, after I lost, I was crying. Like, it was bad. And I was like, I'm going to be good. And I told myself that. And you know what I did? I was in that room. I was writing every day.
Yeah, she was, pissed. She locked herself in a room for about a week straight. She only came out for a sandwich. I was like, are you hungry?
No,
but she was mad. But that was just the competitor in her. Yeah. And she wanted to be great. Now, don't get me wrong. My baby was in that house with older kids. All the kids were older than her. You were like 12. Everybody was 14, 15. Tally was 17. Nova was 16. Deetronada was 15. Yeah. Everybody was older. So for her to be able to even keep up with those kids, I knew she was going to be great once she understood the real concept of being a rapper.
Yeah. The rap game was crazy. I didn't think that show was that big. Like, until people to this day, they're like, oh my God, you Flau'jae from the rap game. I'm like, bro, I don't even have the same face. Like, I was 12. But yeah.
But JD gave you the artist development part that you needed. Yeah. When you did the interviews with, and
that's when I knew I was legit.
Yes. And now you know how to interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can flow.
Oh, man. So crazy what just happened. I just had a full circle moment where I went to the studio with JD. Me and my mom went and I played him my music, right? And for me, I'm beefed up. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go in here. I'm about to blow the roof off of here. Because the last time I was in here, I was walking out the studio with an L and I was crying. I was 13. So when I came back and I met him, I told him everything. I was like, bro, like, you really changed my life. Like, you really changed my life, because if I didn't go through that trial, I would have never been prepared for my next ventures. And my next venture was America's Got Talent and so on and so forth. So I told him when I met him, I was like, thank you so much. Because if I didn't take that loss and I didn't come back stronger and let that loss turn into a lesson, I would have never became who I was. So he taught me so much. He taught me how to just command a room. Like, when you walk in a room, command it. He taught me studio etiquette. He taught me how to do photo shoots. Like, he taught me, it was literally a rap boot camp. And it just happened, like, it was on national TV, and it was a platform that changed my life.
And you had to have somebody there. It didn't have to be your parent.
But
it could have been an uncle, but you had to have a guardian there with you at all times, because it was kids. So me taking off for 4 months.
Yeah.
Well, all the parents.
Ma, you gotta tell them. Can you say that, or is that like illegal?
What?
What you told your job to get out of there?
Well, as you know, Flau'jae always say I'm dropping babies. Well, just so happened I tried to take a leave of absence because I knew about the show. And so when I went to them, they was like, we can't give you 90 days off work. And I was like, why not? This is a lifetime opportunity for my kid. Like, I'm going to do it whether you give it to me or not. So they was like, well, we can't give you that off. So just so happened, I went to the doctor and I was pregnant. So went to the doctor. I'm pregnant with Nixon. I told the doctor that I was just not feeling well. I'm just really sick. I don't know if I'm going to be to stand up at work or something, So they said, well, in the beginning of your pregnancy, we might need to put you on bed rest. Bed rest for a couple months. So I took the letter to my job. Just so happened it's the same time as I need to leave and go on the show at Flau'jae.
Yeah.
And I was the only parent that went to that house and still had a job.
Yeah.
So I be feeling like God always be looking over me and my family, because those parents went back and had to find new jobs after, the show was over. Mm-hmm. But I didn't. I went back to my job and I really was pregnant. Like, it's not illegal.
Yeah, facts.
But at the end of the day, it was funny because I ended up getting the time off.
Yeah. No, she was definitely up and working.
I was working.
All right.
But yeah.
Number 2, let's talk about the BET nomination. I definitely had to talk about it because this is a crazy moment for me, and this is something that I've been dreaming of since I was a kid. Like, 'cause I remember the first time we flew to LA, and I went to the BET Award, and that was
purple dress. You were so
dress.
Cute.
Oh my God.
Somebody donated that dress. Bella, cute. Shout out to Bella. That's when my funds was a little low.
Shout out to Bella.
And Bella sponsored that dress for you.
Okay, so. Shout out to Bella Boutique. I remember that. But I've never been like a dress girl, and it was real fluffy. Like, now I like my dress slim fit tight. But I remember we were down there. DJ Greg Street took us to the BET Awards. We met Too Short. We met all type of people. And so it's crazy. Russell Simmons. We met everybody, and it's crazy that now I'm going back to the BET Awards and I'm nominated, like, for an award. You know what I mean? And it's even crazier that it's basketball. Like, it's not even music yet. So I think that it's super cool, like, to see the progressions, because this year it may be basketball, next year it may be music. And win or loss or whatever, like, it's still being nominated.
Amongst those names. I feel
Asia
like you
Wilson,
already.
Sha'Carri.
Coco.
So, yeah, like.
Those are.
Big names.
Big athletes, Olympic, athletes.
Yes.
And Flau'jae, I think you're the youngest on there.
No, I think Coco.
Juju.
Oh, Juju
the youngest.
Juju's on there too.
Juju the youngest.
Yep.
But overall, like, the difference is Flau'jae grind. You know what I'm saying? It's been a very great grind, but it's been in 2 different worlds.
All right.
So just getting people to accept the fact that Flau'jae, my kid, does both at this level is a beautiful thing. And I want you to understand that, like, they see you.
I kind of understand it, but, it's, I don't know.
You know how good you are, and they haven't grasped that yet. So it makes you feel like The world
I feel
need
like
to catch
I'm
up.
always at the bottom of the totem pole. Like that's my mindset. Like I feel like that's how I think that's just how I like to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at the bottom. Like I gotta grind. Like that's how I feel. So
But what Coach Smokey said, you like to be the underdog. So when you win,
yeah,
it's like, dang, where did she come from? And then more people want to know your story. More people want to say, let me listen to her music. More people want to watch you and different things. Like some of these people who run to the top real fast, they don't last.
yeah, because they don't have foundation.
You're going to be right. They don't have any structure. They just doing whatever. And you're going to be a household name that people that say like, look how Flau'jae did it.
Yeah.
She stayed clean. She didn't keep controversy going. Like you made people see that you can do it in a good way without, adapting to what everybody else is doing to try to get up fast.
Facts. So for the B2 Awards, are you trying to be on the red carpet with me or?
I just dropped this kid, trying to get a few pounds off. And, I was on there last year. I would love to be there, but if you want to take someone else that was a big supporter of you this year, you could.
Well, I thought about taking my brother.
That's a track star.
Stop. You're done. All right. Next segment. Number 3. My favorite moments playing basketball and my funniest game memories on the basketball court. Our funniest memory would be when I was really young. All I don't remember your story, but I remember my story. I was so nervous before my first game. I was like, Mama, all I want to do is make the shot and hear everybody say, ooh.
You want it, whatever that sound is.
I want the net to say
swoosh,
and I want everybody to cheer for me.
Right.
I always wanted to put it on the show.
She was always a star.
You got to send them the photos so they could put it on the screen.
Yeah, but it was so funny. I can remember the moment when I first told you I found you a team, and it was your first game, and my friend Terry went and bought you some Jordans.
I had the headband. I had the armband.
Everything. And she ran out on the court because the game was right by the start. He come in the door with the shoes, and you put the shoes on and ran to the court. But the game was starting. She ran the wrong way. But you look back, and the smile you had on your face was like, Mom, thank you. I want to play basketball.
Oh, yeah, because my mom had me in ballerina classes. I didn't want to do that. That was not my thing. I was crying. I had on this red lipstick. I had on a tutu.
It was horrible.
It was a mess.
But that was my girl. I wanted her to be, a little dainty, girly, but that's not what I got, and I'm cool with it.
Straight baller.
She's a baller. She was balling better than the boys. So I had to accept that and take her out of the slippers. But I feel like the ballet gave you
absolutely not
some type of,
no.
On the basketball court, you're a badass out there.
Like footwork.
Yeah, footwork. Like all of that helps.
I guess.
She wanted to play basketball.
She's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to play basketball.
And so I found a team that had boys, but the coach was like, listen, but all of them are really young. Nobody know what they're doing at this age. Just put on a team with the boys.
That's my alarm. Yeah, it is.
It's your alarm?
Yeah, it's on my other phone, though. It's probably telling me to eat. My funniest game moment in college probably be when I blocked Lauren Betts and I was running down the court smiling.
Not for me. It was when Angel went up for a shot.
Oh, man.
And she got the and one, and you did the jump.
The Kevin Gates jump.
Like it was the happiest moment in your life.
It was. I was so happy, bro. Because I remember the UCLA
Were you
games.
down? Were we down?
Yes, we were down a little bit, and then we went on a little run. And then Angel had hit the and one, and I was like, that went so viral. It was so viral. Man, I was so happy. Like, I used all my energy for that jump. I was so tired after that. But no, my funniest moment, probably when I blocked Lauren Betts, bro. Because Lauren Betts 6'8", and she ain't no scrub. Like,
right.
And I told everybody in practice the day before the game, this UCLA Elite 8 game, I told everybody, I was like, I'm going to lay her and I'm going to block her. And I had low-key undercover smoke. I love you, Lauren, but like I had smoke with you because they ranked you number 1 in my class. Now, I always had smoke with everybody above me. So I said, when I come out there at UCLA, I'm blocking her, I'm laying her. I ended up blocking her on like a shot that was crucial to the game.
Yes.
And I ended up laying her to seal the game. I'm talking about jelly, nice little lay. That was like one of my favorite moments. And when I ran over Coach Kim, that was funny too at Vanderbilt.
But you running after you stole the ball from Lauren.
I was
You was
cheesing.
running back smiling.
I did it.
I was like, why is she so excited?
Because I told everybody in practice I was gonna do it. Nobody believed me.
Because she's so tall.
Yeah, facts.
That's dope. I like Lauren. She's a good one.
Facts. All right, last but not least, number 4, my biggest basketball mentors and inspirations. My biggest basketball mentor, well, I have a new one right now. I'm not going to lie. Coach Simone Augustus just joined our roster at LSU, and I was able to finally, yes, please. I was able to finally, like, get in the gym. You know, I've been traveling with the whole team and Coach Moan, and we had a workout, and I was like, yeah, I love this lady. Like, she going to teach me so much. Like, I love how she coaches. Like, she hardcore, but she still, like,
humble,
encourage you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I need that. And to be able to play under somebody like that, been exactly where I want to be. Literally went to LSU, went to Final Fours, Player of the Year, Hall of Famer. Like, it don't get much better than that. So that has kind of changed. But, you know, for me, when I was growing up in high school, it was Colin Sexton. Now, only the real ones know, back in the Georgia high school era, Colin Sexton was that guy. Followed him all the way when he went to Cleveland, all of that. He dropped 40 on KD, all of that. So Colin Sexton definitely when I was in high school. And my freshman year of college, Kobe. You know I was Kobe'd out. I used to write his quotes on my mirror every day. And I think for me, Kobe was it's just his mentality. Right. It's just something that I craved to have, and when I started practicing, and I kind of became it. So, Kobe Bryant, like, it will never be another like him.
He different.
He's one of those ones. I always say it'll never be another Michael, it'll never be another Kobe, and it'll never be another Bron because of their mentality and their commitment and their discipline. And that's something that I really, really strive to have. Like, greatness is not what you do, but it's how consistent you do it. Mm-hmm. Like, if you only do great things one time, you're not great. You just did a great thing. But you do a great thing this game. You do a great this thing. And then for me, like, that's starting practice. I do something great every practice, in the game is just going to be regular. Right. That's why when I be hitting them crazy lays and they're like, how you do that? I'm like, bro, I practice this. Like, this is nothing I just pull out. Like, when I'm working out, I practice all type of crazy shots, one leg trick shots, layups, whatever, because I know, like, it's going to translate. And that's why I kind of learned from Kobe to, like, drill. The one thing I'm going to tell y'all, like, you know, a lot of the little girls be coming up to me and be like, Fly, I want to be great. And I tell them, like, how many times you work out a week? And I kind of set them up like that because it's like, I'm going to set you up. They'll be like, I work out 4 times a week. And be like, you ain't going to be great. I work out 4 times a day. You're never going to catch me. You see what I'm saying? And Kobe taught me that. Kobe day started at 5. I started waking up at 5 in high school. Driving an hour away, doing 3 workouts, going back, doing another workout, strength, shooting, and practice.
That's how
skills.
I kind of knew you were destined for greatness, because when you got to drag your kid out of bed, you want it more than the kid. And a lot of parents don't know that. Like, they invest in a lot of time and money. But if you dragging your kid out of bed, most likely they're not going to make it.
It's over with.
And they're not going to make it because they don't want it as much. Flau'jae, I brought her a car at 16.
Yes.
And she has been driving herself to practice and training at 5 a.m. in the morning. She waking herself up. All I hear is, Mom, I'm gone, in a dough shack. That's a different type of determination and will to want it. You know, so when I knew that, that's when I knew that you really wanted it yourself and you was going to go get it.
Yeah, and I never took no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? Because I never seen you take no for an answer. You always figure it out. And you never told me no. I tell people that all the time. Like, that might make some kids spoil you, but for me, it made me realize, like, dang, everything is possible. Like, I could get anything I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's certain kids you could do that with, I think.
Yes.
Like, I feel like with, like, Lil Aiden, he gonna have to get his, because Lil Aiden already a superstar.
Right.
He got to know I got to work for it.
Right.
But, like, Nixon, I think he'll be more like, he'll appreciate it and be like, oh, I could get that, because how his mentality is. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's, like, a good thing that you taught me young, was, like, you could go get anything you want to get. Like, you just got to go get it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything is reachable. And that's what I always taught you guys, my kids. If you put in the work, you can go get it.
So, yeah, I guess you was my inspiration, too, in basketball.
Even though I didn't play?
Even though you didn't play. Work ethic. All right. And that's a wrap. That's another episode of Best of Both Worlds with Flau'jae, the biggest. We're dropping this every Thursday on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Please like, subscribe, and follow. It really, really, really helps us on this show. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Both Worlds. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time on Best of Both Worlds with Flau'jae. Got a blast.